going to do a table side tutorial. So who wants to jump on the other side? We get to the home games.
Are we playing heads up or?
Yeah, I guess we could. We don't have that many people here, so
Oh crap! Sorry, I'm just opening it up.
we could play a variety of things. If you guys really want, we could also play mixed games, PLO, really anything that you guys are interested in. I can't really say that I'm amazing at all of those, but
I
could
don't
play.
play any other games other than Hold'em, to be honest. But like, I mean, I would. I mean, I don't care. Um, I need to make. The one thing I'm not doing is I'm not logging on enough to collect whatchamacallit, play money. So I need to do that once. Yeah, I mean, because there's only 4 of us total. Like Thomas, you'll play, and then would it make sense to have one person watch and then 2 people play? Just
Yeah, yeah.
all right. There we go. I just logged on to start to start playing. So give me a sec, and I'll be on.
All right, so we've got some options there.
And then where do I go to? You didn't start it, did you? Yeah.
No, I've just put up 4 tables. So you just pick one of those tables. So you click schedule,
Yeah. Okay, we're good.
and so you can pick one of them.
Yeah, I'm in them. Okay. Yeah, it only let me join one. I'm in the Thyra one.
Do you need more chips? Is it?
Me? No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I did like I if I was gonna be, I've got like 200 something thousand. It's fine. Are these heads up tables only?
So I've made some heads up tables for No Limit Hold'em, and who's breathing into their headphones? All right, so I'm gonna play my first market. It's only let you join one.
Oh, it only let me join one heads up at a time. Nope. Now we're good. Oh, like it couldn't let me like wait on 2 heads up tables at a time. That's all. I'm in the Bobone one too. Yeah. All right. So I haven't played heads up before, but so I'm not really familiar with my ranges, but
Why is it not letting it tile?
Thomas,
That's bloody annoying.
Thomas.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave. I'll be honest. For the sake of transparency, I just went to log out and I saw your hands. So sorry about that.
Oh no, I'm trying to figure out the setup anyway. All right, let's do it like this. Okay, so you can just hop off the chat and rejoin whenever you want.
Okay.
And then we'll just play it. And then I guess Martin and Naraman will have a talk about the hands as we're going on. And if anyone else joins, then that's bloody annoying. All right. So get some heads up. No limit here. Very good, very good. Alright. I think this is in the range, this is not. Now, have you guys experimented with mixed open sizing and mixed 3-bet sizing, that sort of thing?
I use some different open sizings based on position at times, but I think from what you're getting at is more a mixed frequency opens, like you see in heads up. Like I don't have a limping strategy from the small blind. But I think optimally, it works when the rake's lower.
It's probably not the best bet size to use here, but you know, whatever. Yeah, so let's just use some mixed open sizes, why not? Mixed open sizes. Alright, let's go with this one. Is this in the range?
Would you say that 3-bet was a very polarized sizing?
Seems pretty standard, I think. This is a bit polarizing here, though. Bit of a tight fold, I think.
Ace queen, ace
probably,
king.
probably not the best. Oh, it's okay. Sort of blocks some stuff. One of the best one to use as a bluff. There's probably better blockers with the ace than the hand with the ace. It might even be just good enough to call, to be honest. But yeah. And Norman, if you got any questions, you can just type, I guess. Let's go like an overcard, backdoor, flush draw. I'm gonna make it relatively beefy because I want to check back a fair amount, I think. Bet size to use. What bet size to use? This one. Yeah, I mean, so here with the just yeah, I mean, bottom of the range sort of thing. If I had like a heart, then maybe I'd raise, but okay, so fairly straightforward, I think. So I'm not really liking this bet size on. It's pretty big for this sort of board texture. But I guess it's okay some of the time. You're thinking I just want to check back and try and make a pair. Oh, that's a pair. Yeah, so I mean, heads up, the ranges are pretty wide. And because of that, you really got to be quite mindful of like how much showdown value you have. Because you probably have more than you think you have. I'm not expecting a lot of folds with this bet, but maybe if you can get a few slightly stronger hands to fold, talking stuff like 6 high, 8 high, 9 high, that kind of stuff, then it's quite a good bet. Yeah, I should fold.
I guess that goes back to what you said about appreciating your showdown value.
Yeah, I mean, with a bet that small, you have to your opponent actually has to raise some hands like
Yeah.
9 high and stuff as a bluff.
Yeah.
So it's pretty difficult for them to do that. You can even go for a bluff raise. Probably okay, just give up now. Yeah, I mean, with this brick, if one of the straight sort of cards came, then be much more okay to continue barreling. Yeah, probably could have called that one. But when it bricks, you got to check a lot, and I'm also going to be checking some very strong hands to re-raise as well. So yeah, king 4, bottom pair, just check it. I'm doing it showdown. 7-10. Square, I guess. He got the gut shot to the nuts, and the bet's a little bit, not 30%, so reasonable call, I think. Also, Queen Car High's got a little bit of showdown value, so.
Is the math for like odds, like, do you basically like add your opponent's stack to the pot size and calculate the odds from?
Yeah, no, because you're not always going to stack them, so.
Well, I mean the percentage of the stack as far as your odds to make your, to make your hand. Like if you've got like 35 or 30% odds to make your hand, then you add 30% of the stack of his stack to the pot size to work out the odds.
What is the starting point here? 1,000? 10,000? Yeah. I mean, the shove is probably okay because the rake is so high. I kind of just want to end the hand. Um, I think King High got a fair amount of showdown value, so just checking it down is acceptable. I mean, this here is kind of unfortunate. It's like sort of what it's representing. I mean, I think you can represent a 10 or an 8. I mean, sure, you could have a jack as well, so. To try and represent an 8. Maybe. Maybe if you got a bit smaller than I would raise, but. It's just difficult to see any in the 8 that bets a turn. Here, just with the bottom pair, just going to check it down. I mean, even against a small bet, I mean, probably okay to call. But there's just a lot of one diamond hands that we've got after we call the 2x open, so I think some of them would call in preference of that hand even against a small bet. You know, this one
Kind of.
there's a few back doors with the 8 and the 3, but it's not amazing.
It's kind of a big bet by him for a paired board, a flop.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a raise.
Yeah, I mean, I much prefer to raise if we've got the back door. It is a door to the second nuts. So, I mean, I could go either way. Does complete some stuff. It's an interesting turn card because now when a 10 comes, once again, I've had some other ace highs, maybe with a gut shot, it'd be better to call or a slightly stronger ace high, but that particular one.
Nice hand.
It's pretty standard. Just questioning whether I actually have the range advantage in order to do this, but yeah, alright, whatever. Damned in bed. What do you have? Queen 8. Yeah, okay, I guess. I think the way I played, I maximized my EV against Queen 8 particularly, so I'm checking the river just because I'm blocking a lot of 7x. And so you go for the check jam. I think maybe if I had like Jack 5 or Queen 5, I'd do it. Oh, what's going on there? But with 10-5, it just blocks too many of the bluffs, the 10 high bluffs. So a little bit less likely to want to raise that. There's plenty of worse hands that can call. Block the nut. King's pretty good. King is good. I mean, the king is good for that particular hand. It's pretty shitty for the range. It was a reasonable hero call. Having the top card pair isn't quite as good as having either the bottom or the middle card pair. And that's really because of the I don't think this makes sense. I think he's blocked too many of the flush draws now. King Jack's interesting. Checking out the turn. Pretty alright. And there's a few straights, a few flushes. Definitely worth a call. Consider raise. Consider raising. Go after about half pot. What gets there? 6-8. Guess gonna let it go. Try this raise, just with a back door, fair few back doors. And then if the back doors miss, just, yeah, whatever. It's a pretty good board for our hand.
It just got better.
Yeah.
Still on the weak side of it, though. Right?
It's a 3-bet pot. Not sure how much I'd worry about that. I mean, there's just a lot of sets and stuff that can call. Sets and 2 pairs.
Right.
Yeah, there you go, 2 pair. Now, if you're wondering why I'm not 3-betting very much, partly it's because I haven't been able that many good hands to 3-bet. This is a little bit don't. And secondly, the raise size that he's using is pretty small, and he's using it with his entire range. So his range is a bit more, a little bit too polar for the small size. Versus if he also had a slightly larger size, then some of the stronger hands could go into that size a bit more often, and so that extra polarity means that I want to throw at the small size a bit more, because it's a bit more merged. I mean, it's not a great hand, but it blocks hands that fold, so... Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yep, exactly.
It's probably not the best board to overbet there because of the flush draw. Yeah, I don't see why he's check raising a board that's very strong for me, so... Probably could have threw with this hand, or should have threw with this hand, but yeah, I guess. This raise size is pretty, bet size is pretty big. Jack 3, it's a little on the low side. Probably fold it, to be honest, but a little on the low side. I mean, they got there, backdoors again there, so yeah. pretty normal way of playing the hand so far.
Pardon? What was that?
It's a pretty standard way of playing the hands so far.
Yeah. Yep.
Much rather call with a heart or a stronger second kicker, just because the 5 kind of blocks some of the weird bluffs that it might have.
Do you consider backdoors as strong on paired boards?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah. I mean, it depends on the ranges. So here pre-flop there's not so many like 4s, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. I don't think the raise all in makes too much sense in position because we've got a very polar range there anyway. So just raising into a polar range isn't quite so sensical.
Yeah. I think I'm folding my backdoor flush draws with a too high a frequency on paired boards. I think that might be a leak.
I mean, it depends how wide the ranges are. Here the ranges are very wide. The backdoor nut flush draw is a very strong hand, so reasonably strong hand. Reasonably strong draw. It's like 5%-ish to get there.
And they're more hidden, I think, so there's more chance of getting paid off when you do get there as well.
Yeah, I'm not
Or flush
so
is
sure
a
about
flush.
that. Not so sure about that.
Hard time to read what your opponent is repping based on the bet sizing.
Yeah, there's a bit of that. Trying to raise. Yeah, probably folded. King high or something. It's an interesting run out. This might be a bit thin, but see how it goes.
Well, it looks like he probably has like a one pair hand there based on that bet size, right?
Yeah. That's what he's representing. But he could definitely have a bunch of two pairs that can just bet that size and then call, and then
Right.
some straights that would bet and then re-raise.
Right.
We already have actually. We can see pair of sixes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that makes this donk. I don't think it makes any sense at all, because I've got actually a fair few flush draws that play that way. Some other ace X, so that you can't actually do that. Some pretty straightforward hands so far, I think.
Yeah.
Not much to say.
Is this might be a silly question, but is betting to protect showdown value a thing? I mean, like when you got like an ace king or ace with a high kicker, and you check back for your showdown value, and you find that the opponent beats you with a hand that you know he would have folded to a bet, to even a small bet. Is betting to protect showdown value, is that a thing or not?
Yeah, not really.
Okay. I mean, I've never really seen it on a solve, but it's frustrating to when to show down and see a hand that would have probably folded to a bet.
Yeah, it's not really a thing. I mean, you really either like on the flop. There's two more streets to go. You have to get. Not only does your hand have to be good at showdown, it has to get to showdown. So
Yeah, yeah.
um, you have to just not get bluffed off. Yeah, I mean, it's probably got queen high. Yeah, okay. I guess I think I'll bet that somewhere just with a gut shot. But yeah, okay, I guess.
That could have been an interesting hand.
Yeah, so I mean, like, yeah, right. Got 7-2. I pot it into you, and then I make my 3. It feels frustrating, but there's not a lot you can do that doesn't just like hemorrhage chips to a better hand. So you just have to hope that they have enough bluffs in their range so you can win, even if they outdraw you. It's probably not the best call, but seems fine, I think. And I'm going to have quite a few donks on this hand, this card here. But I think I'm going to check this one this time. Probably could bet. Yeah. I'll let it go. The reason why I don't bet is because I just don't want to get check jammed off my equity.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
mean, I block both straights, I guess. Reasonable call.
I missed the beginning. Was this a 4-bet?
Yeah, it's a
Call
4-bet.
Yeah.
2, and then 9, and then 23.
Wow, I didn't see that coming. I thought with you having the queen that you kind of blocked queens as part of its range, which should be more probability of kings, aces, and ace king. But you blocked the king too. You blocked the king as well.
He checked back the flop, so he's got aces and he's trapping, but I'm still going to get called by worse than that plenty of the time.
Right. Was that flop always a check with the ace king?
I don't think so.
Interesting.
The issue is with the ace, I block a lot of his ace highs that would call, so Like if I had a queen myself blocking the folds, then I would consider betting it. Yeah, there's a unfortunate run out for that hand.
Mm-hmm.
So with the flush completing, pretty good for my range. So I'm just going to be betting pretty frequently for a smaller size.
Mm.
I think this half pot bet size is going toward the top of my range, especially with the flush draw blocker. With the flush blocker, sorry. Yeah.
That was very interesting hand.
I mean, eights. I mean, I probably would have jammed eights as well. So
I wasn't so sure I'd call the bottom end of a straight on a flush board there. But I guess that's GTO, right? You have to make those calls.
yeah, I mean, especially if he's shipping eights for value, then yeah, it's just the hand's way too up in my range.
Right.
And it's
Just in game when the flush completes, and though we have a straight, we have the bottom end of it. You know, I guess, you know, I tank for a while on whether that's actually a call. But in fact, I think it has to be. It has to be a call.
yeah, I mean, especially with the blocker to the flush, it is pretty easy to call.
That'd be a good hand for one of your quizzes.
Interesting. What do you have? Ooh, nothing with fives. Interesting. I think it's got too much showdown value. Heads up to overbet the flop. So
Yep, agreed.
I'm unsure about the flop overbet on that sort of board. Maybe for like a small overbet works a bit better than a big overbet.
I think like people like myself that don't really play heads up, or play six max, the range versus range when you're trying to look at, or watch heads up, the range versus range interaction, it's a lot harder to to get one's head around.
Why? Just because the ranges are wider, or
Yeah. That I think, and I'm obviously I'm probably wrong. I'm not a heads up expert, but it just feels like the ranges. Well, actually, no. I was gonna say that the ranges seem more symmetrical, but there's actually quite a large three betting range. So they are asymmetric ranges, just wide. Trying
yeah.
to.
I think you gotta just hold all that in your head at once, and then when you can go back and play six max, it becomes pretty
Yeah.
straightforward because the ranges are that much narrower. So you got to be tighter because of that.
Yeah.
Another thing is like because here when you're playing heads up, when the ranges are really wide, don't let yourself get tilted by the relative strength of hands. This kind of sucks because I've got an ace, but
Are you saying it's easier to embrace the variance playing heads up?
I mean, no, it's a lot more difficult, I think. Yeah, right. Oh, I got there. Got there. No, I was gonna bet this one.
I thought you were going to check back on that seven.
Sorry, which one?
The,
Oh, no,
on
no, I'm out of position here.
Right. Yeah, I remember with heads up, I see the button, then it's backwards. Are we not missing value when we overbet like with those kings there on that board?
What do you mean?
Just I just using like getting him to fold to the overbet instead of giving him a chance to catch up a little bit and get more value out of the hand.
Well, when he calls, you win more. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And so do your bluffs.
he's offering a swap if you want to swap over.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I'll head over.
All right, let me just set out these next hands.
Oof.
Hello.
Hello? Oh, no
Hello.
one's here, huh?
Oh no. Yeah. I'm just gonna start up soon with. Have we gone there? All right. So, what do you think of the match? What's going on with that again?
So like the number one thing that I found, I so first of all, I'm not too steeped in like heads up, so that was like irking me a little bit, I guess. But aside from that, like I felt like very confused by a lot of the bet sizes you were doing that I know like I just haven't studied enough to know what to do against these. I was trying to, so first of all, playing such a wide range because we're heads up, I'm not as used to doing that. Like I'm used to basically no more than like there was like I felt like I had a ton of hands. Like, gosh, like I'm super wide here. I have like, what do I do type of thing.
Yeah.
And then also the speed with like the speed we were playing at, having two tables of heads up where you're basically playing every hand. Like I felt like that was confusing my decisions a bit. Like I couldn't think through hands as much, and I not mixing up hands, but like I don't remember the whole hand sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm going back and forth. Just something I need to work on, I guess, because it's just not something I do. Like maximum, I played 2 tables at a time of like 6 max. So I'm just not used to that. But other than that, yeah, there's definitely a few hands I'm gonna like go back and look at. But I don't think I played particularly well. Yeah, maybe if you want to say something.
I mean, you can go back over the hands and see my commentary. I don't think he played too poorly. There wasn't any like, well, that's a big mistake kind of spots. There's a few small mistakes, a few hands which I played a bit differently, a few hands which I think you could have bluffed and didn't.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
Mhm. Um, yeah. Knowing sort of like the I definitely felt one of my big weaknesses was like on the flop against like the variety of bet sizing you were using, especially in 3-bet pots. Like I never make or face a bet bigger than like pot in the 3-bet pot, for example. And
Right.
not I don't want to say like I was basically trying to like roughly calculate like what percent of my like range I need to continue with and how I want to continue, and like trying to make a rough like alpha calculation back like that way against some of the bets. Yeah, one of them I kind of got. There was a hand where I 4-bet, and I also just don't know the ranges, so I looked at the range and like Jack 4 suit is a raise, call, or fold, right, against a 3-bet. So I was like, all right, let's go for the 4-bet, and then he called him like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have done that because now I don't really know what to do. But I don't think that's a good reason not to make a certain play. Like, it's hard to explain everything now that I'm digesting it back, but I try not to do like, I don't want to say incorrect, or like, I try not to do like just be scared of making a play because I'm like, oh well, if he does this, then I'm not in a good spot. Like I like to try to like work things out. Did he limp? Okay.
Yeah. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything you want to say that if I'm not anything
No, I think
enough,
you played
or-
well. I think you played pretty well for
Yeah.
for someone that's not really into heads up.
Mhm.
Hasn't played heads up.
I mean-
Played reasonably well.
I think it's still the same type of thing, right? Like heads up is slightly different, but like, or, you know what I mean? Like it feels like it shouldn't be any different. Like it's still poker, still same type of concepts apply, but just the ranges are way wider than I'm used to. Something I sort of fell into.
Yeah, the ranges are wider. Really got to know how to play every type of hand.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly every type of hand.
Or maybe one thing I'll ask about is the like just to start like the different opening sizes.
Yep.
You just kind of having fun with them, like randomizing, or is there any like means to the madness?
Yeah, so the bigger open sizes are slightly more polar.
Right. But like the 2 big blind opening should be basically like 90-something% of hands, right?
Yeah, I mean not necessarily. It's not
Gotta
necessarily
be
true
something.
heads up.
No, heads up. Like the opening range for the button basically is like it's got to be like every suited hand in like almost all except for like the really weak like offsuit like deuce x 3x hands, right? Yeah, I'll be honest. I just didn't. Like, I don't have enough. Like the 6 max ranges, I know like basically completely what I play, and that's been something that's comforted me a lot. Oh yeah, I against a 4-bet I had 8s and I jammed. I don't know how bad that is.
No, that's fine if you're out of position. Yeah, that's
Okay.
very okay.
Okay.
I mean, I jammed 6s on you once, so
Oh yeah. Okay. Um.
yeah, there's plenty of hands to look through. I'm not sure how many hands we've played, but a fair few.
Yeah, it felt like normally I can remember like almost all the hands I play basically because they're not coming as fast. But I felt like I was just constantly trying to make decisions. Oh crap, the timer's running out. Like sometimes I'd miss the opportunity to do something and it just folded for you. But that's just life. But like it just felt like, oh man, I've got to like get bets and get actions in. Yeah, Okay. That's fine though. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Good. Hopefully when you go through the recording, you'll pick up a few things.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like there's gonna be some spots where I'm like, man, what was I thinking, huh? Yeah. There was like an interesting hand we played. There's two interesting ones. One was the hand I had eights, and then I rivered the set and you rivered the straight. I think I played that one really poorly, like before the river, and then on the river I think it's fine. But
Yeah, the river was okay.
remember the other one I had Queen Jack, and rivered there was a flush on the flop, but then I rivered the straight. You called with a 7. I think that one was at least.
Oh yeah, and
Like,
you
again,
backdoored. Yeah, I mean,
I'm not sure how good it was or not. On the river, I think it's fine because I have the spade blocker to be able to do it. But I don't know if I want to really be. I don't know if I can jam that quite that wide for value. It's like a spot I was finding myself in. Yeah, and then flop sizings, I'm clearly in need of some more. But other than that, I don't know. Pretty happy. I'm ready to just start watching and commenting or asking questions.
Yeah.
Thomas, how much longer are you going to be playing for?
Few hours. I guess.
Sorry, I was
Maybe,
eating, so
yeah.
I had it on mute. What's that?
Few hours, I guess. I mean, it's up to you guys how long we probably go. So I played for about an hour with. Was it an hour?
Do you want to play 3 max, or were you just doing heads up? Because I can hop in and play because I'm eating right now anyway, so I have to have it on mute. Ooh. Bad spot there.
I mean, it's got a boat, right? Interesting. I like it.
Can I hop in and play, or should I stay on this side of the call?
Right now these tables are both just heads up, so yeah, just stay on this side for now,
Okay.
and then finish eating, then you can play, I guess.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to put it back on mute.
These 3-bets are pretty on the small side.
I think you just have to call that against that,
Yeah,
right?
you call a lot. Don't know whether I should float this one.
I think you definitely need to continue with all the stuff, but I don't know if it's a call or raise.
No, it's not a raising in position.
Okay. I think he's out of chips.
Yeah.
Against the limp opens, do we generally want to be like raising more? Or like what percent? Or I know we typically seem to
Thomas, what do you think about his give up with 6-5 there in that 3-bet pot? I know out of position he doesn't have to bluff all his weak hands, but not sure.
Sorry, the 6-5. Because it's out of position, it's not really necessary. I'll just keep dumping until.
Ooh.
All right. Yeah. Okay. You're gonna ban me and take my play money. What's going on here?
I don't see what's wrong with it.
And act accordingly. All right. I think it's because it's heads up tables. They focus on the heads up tables. So if you wanted to play 3 max, we can do that.
I don't mind going back in. Or
Yeah, I
Brendan,
can-
you want to join instead?
No, who wants to join?
Yeah, I can hop in and play if that's cool.
All right.
Yeah, hop in.
One sec. I gotta get stars open. I'll just stay on here till I figure out the table and stuff.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Okay. Online software terms of service. Okay. What table are you guys on?
None
None right now.
What's that? Sorry.
A Bali.
Bali? You're not in the club, right? Or you are? Oh, I see it, I think. Wait, no. Okay, I'm on the table, so I'll leave this call then.
All right.
Thomas, it's not letting me join the other tape. Oh, maybe this one will let me. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm gonna leave this call.
All right, very good. So both of them. All right, see how that works. Yeah, that's annoying. Let's do it this way. We get the same problem, aren't we? All right. So yeah, bottom bit up you go. Pretty straightforward call, I think.
Mhm.
I think 2.5. Mm,
Is that not a call?
I'm just contemplating a raise. Yeah, probably could get away with a bet.
I'll be honest, I was thinking of like leading into for like, I don't know, third pot or half pot or something.
Which one, with the bottom pair? Or?
Yeah. Or like even less, like quarter pot.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
Not so much on the ace high boards.
All right. On the left or the bottom left board, like
Yeah.
how do we like modulate the bluffs on these types of monotone and whatever? I thought we wanted more like sort of like you'd want some sort of pair to block the two pair calls and stuff.
Yeah, there is a bit of that. You also want some just some random junk as well, so just because you're betting so big, you need to
You need to have
more
like
bluffs
almost
from
like not quite
somewhere,
1-to-1, but some like for that bet size you need something like, I don't know, like 0.7 bluffs per each.
Yeah, I mean more because you need bluffs on the river as well.
Okay. So can I ask how you like sort of determine whether, like, I do very little like no equity bluffing.
Yeah, I mean
So-
this is one of the spots where you have to have no equity bluffs.
In order to just make enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you do generally want to be betting that big on those 4 flush boards? Getting
Yeah,
it.
after you bet that size on the flop, when it
Okay.
comes 4 to a flush, usually you don't want to have a really small bet or a massive overbet. And the massive overbet, the value range is almost exclusively the nut flush.
Yeah. Oh, nut flush only? Okay. Careful, yeah. Hitting the toe.
So yeah, because it's impossible to block it, right? The only way to block the nut flush is to have the nut flush.
Mhm. Do you not want to be betting that queen queen 6 board?
So in heads up, the ranges are a bit different. So it's not like on the high ones you immediately have a
Slam dunk bet, yeah.
it's not like you immediately have a range advantage.
Mhm. Yeah, that was a bit of my problem. I just basically kind of pretended that I was playing button versus big blind when I'm not.
I mean, regardless of like what pair I've got, if I've got the king, then checking is probably the better way to do it, just because it blocks the checkbacks. And then if I've got like bottom pair, there's no point in betting because you just block all the hands that might consider calling you that are worse. So this is not a great spot. I mean, it's just a 9 doesn't do so well. It just blocks more bluffs than it does value, so it's not great to bluff catch with it. Doing like the 5 here, so
Curious what you do here. On the right.
why would you consider raising?
No, I'm yeah. That's I wouldn't, but I was curious what you would do.
Like if I have pocket sevens, I'm just calling as well because there's no real point in raising because you've already got effectively the nuts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't like his play. I don't think you really want to double block both flush draws type thing. Okay, here. For the sevens hand there, would it not have made a good amount of sense to bet the flop? And then continue firing on an ace or something?
Yeah, I was just going for a check raise. So
Okay.
So in your position, you gotta protect your range a little bit with PFU.
You kind of have to split most of your value into bets and check raises. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hmm. Are you forced to check back here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. Probably should bet the value. Probably should.
Like,
Just because of the 50% rule.
yeah. Yeah, that's like,
What do you have? I'm sure my 9 blocker makes for a good check raise, so.
wait, that wasn't the hand, was it?
Oh no,
I thought he had
this
5-4.
one. No, it's my other hand. This one. I don't know where it is now.
Which hand?
Talking about the hand on the left.
I maybe wasn't focused enough. If he bet on the left, would you have jammed?
Sorry? On the
If
left.
he had bet on the left, would you have check jammed?
No, I probably just fold.
Okay. Is there not much donking in on the flop in heads up? I guess.
Yeah, there's not as much because the ranges are a bit more symmetric.
Okay. So in order to make him check back 50%, you basically have to check everything.
Yeah, because you're pretty capped all the time.
Mhm.
I mean, there is some donking. I did donk a hand earlier.
Does the ace make us want to check? Okay. Given that we had the weakest heart there, do we really want to bet, or do we bet any heart for that size?
Some will want to check raise, some will want to go a bit bigger.
Sorry.
Some will want to check raise, and some will want to go a bit bigger.
Yeah, but we have the basic. We have the weakest heart. Right.
Yeah, but the idea is getting him to call with a chop.
Oh,
Because all
yeah,
the
yeah,
bluffs
yeah.
chop. So.
Sorry. Yeah, no. It's similar to straight board. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, you're right. That concept actually helped me a lot recently. So yeah.
ace 3. Seems okay, I guess. It's a bit of a strange bet size.
Nice. So sometimes, or one of the things I've noticed about my play, and maybe it's influenced a bit by my friend seeing this, like sometimes when you have like basically the nuts in, I guess, one of these smaller SPR pots, basically just
Yeah.
basically we'll just completely think of it going, like when you have like the absolute nuts or essential nuts that you're like very happy, like you really want to stack off, to just geometrically bet, like even let's say we're on the turn. Is that a thing, or is that really just for like when you're in a 3 or 4 bet pot pre-flop? You want to have that line of thinking. Like,
Usually don't
like
want to think like that. I don't really.
okay.
Like here, if I've got like pocket 2s or pocket 8s or something, I'm not gonna just blast it because you have to
No,
overbet
no,
the
no,
pot.
no. Yeah, no, not I guess if SPR is say less than like 5, you'll like we'll start thinking like that. I don't know if it's very good. I don't think it's very good. I think to like just be like wanting to stack off basically. Like just try to maximize the felting range basically is the idea, but I don't think it's. I think I'm overdoing it for sure.
Yeah, I mean you can maximize the tilting range for getting your opponent to raise you. So
Yeah.
if you get raised at some stage, then
So like with ace 10 there, like with ace 10 there, like maybe I don't. No, I wouldn't do it.
yeah. So with ace 10 there, because it blocks a 10, you kind of want to bet a size that represents a 10.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And that's got something to do with it. Also, it's the nut, so you're going to be betting at some stage.
It's probably a give up on bluff.
Yeah, I don't think the I'm not sure what you're doing with the 5 there on the turn. Like you're kind of representing the nuts, but then you're blocking the straight flush. I don't know. I don't know. Seems a bit dubious to do it with a 5 there, because your hand's just so strong you're folding out. I mean, you don't really get called by worse, and
Right.
pretty big bet. Which makes too much sense. Yeah, 9 just got there. Um, 9, 10. There's a possibility. No, yeah, there you go. Check on the turn. Pretty sure I've got plenty of aces that check back there, so also I think blocking 9, 10 is a little bit better. Alright, so I mean, here you could argue for a bet on the flop, or a bet on the turn, but the king high head does have some showdown value, and so because of that, checking down is fine. Here I'm going to consider a raise because I'm blocking all the strong stuff that would re-raise me. Pretty big bet. Does have the range advantage here. It's an interesting turn card. A lot of the draws just got there, including my flush draws, which I'm mostly going to call. So I think a donk is in order. I'm going to donk a variety of hands. This is well protected by flush draws and straights, so if not the case, then I'm going to get worse to call too often to a second bet. So yeah, check, hope check down against a weaker two bearer, or yeah, queen 7. Score's a bit on the loose side. I think some of the time is alright. I mean, ace queen also is just a majority call, so can't just go to call and then hope that they're bluffing enough so that you can reach showdown and win, which is sort of what's going on here. Here there's plenty of 8s with a flush draw, plenty of 8s at clubs, and stronger 8s. 3 is a reasonably good blocker. I don't think queen would bluff. Doesn't really block any, and you've lost this hand. So I guess calling it at some frequency is okay. What's it representing here? It's a bit half on the turn. Saying he's got a really strong hand. Consider raising. Just gonna call this time. Not sure if the pot size bet on the turn makes sense with that sort of hand. But yeah, it does seem a bit too thin. Definitely half pot size bet. Much more reasonable. Pot size bet, I'm thinking more towards of like a 6 or a jack. Alright, so that's when you set up. We'll get Brandon back onto this side and have a chat with him. Hello. So, how'd you find the session?
I thought it was okay. I feel like I played okay. The I had a couple hands. I wish I could like mark these because I would just open them. That 7x pot size bet maybe was too thin, where you just called with trips. Maybe I should have gone like half pot or something. But
Yeah, I mean, I
Maybe.
think it was a bit thin
Okay.
for that particular.
Yeah.
hand
Yeah, I just
type.
thought since I had the kicker that played, I wasn't sure, but it still might be still probably too thin.
Because like, I bet you can get called by a 3 and like ace high and
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff.
true. So I could just go because it went check check.
You just think about what kind of hands you want to get called by and sort of how big of a bet that they'd be okay calling, or
Yeah,
be
I
forced
had
to
to
call
think.
really.
I mean, I knew you'd
And
have
so
I
it's
knew
ace
you'd have
high and a
6x.
3.
I knew you'd have 6x when flop went check check, and then it's pretty unlikely you have a jack unless you have like ace jack, maybe king jack or jack x of like diamonds or something, and then most of the if you had king 7 or ace 7, those would bet the flop a lot. So I felt like, but it's still probably a little too thin. Maybe if I just pick the size in between like half pot and pot, like if I just bet like 2/3 or 3/4 or something, and then what was there were a couple other ones. This one, the queen 2 one was kind of interesting, where you raise the river on the ace, I think. The other thing I'm not super sure about is I know on the turn when you probe, this one. So I know when you probe turn on an ace, a lot of the times you're going pretty polar.
Yeah.
But when you probe river on in a double delay line or whatever, should you also be going pretty polar? Or is it okay to still use?
No, it's still okay. The reason why it's the case on the turn is because both players has to have some equity to draw left.
Gotcha.
So we want to sort of protect that, and the ace just tends to hit all the ace highs that.
So when you
came back.
when you're in because I had like 2 hands like that. The one where I rivered a straight, it was like 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever, and I had ace 3, but I knew that you had a ton of aces because it just checked down. So I wasn't sure if I should be.
Yeah,
probing.
I mean this hand.
This one was a little weird. I had the open-ended straight flush draw. That's why I wasn't sure on the.
Yeah, I mean it just has too much showdown value to sacrifice by bluffing like this. So
Yeah.
when you overbet here, you're trying to get like flushes to become indifferent. So
Okay.
do you really want to get all the worst hands to fold and all the better hands to call?
Gotcha. Okay, so just using like sets and some 2 pairs and stuff is okay. And we
Yeah, I
don't
mean
have to
you wouldn't use 2 pair. You would use sets because their draw is very strong.
Okay.
And then other bluffs would just be like single pairs, like a 3 or something.
Yeah.
And then just random jump. You can
Gotcha.
throw in as well.
And then if the board pairs on the river, then the random like 3x hand or whatever could just turn into your bluff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I wasn't sure because I had like I said, I had the open-ended straight flush draw, so I wasn't sure if using it as like an over. I know that there's some of those weird spots where like sometimes you get called by worse also, and then like I don't know, but anyway.
Yeah, I mean he's not one of those spots where you get called by worse too much, right?
Yeah,
Mainly
that
when
makes
you're
sense.
overbetting here, you're first of all the overbet size is a bit small. It was only 2x.
Okay.
You can actually make it a bit big, like 3x.
Yeah.
This is specifically one of those spots where you just can go for it. Specifically with the straight flush there on the turn, with particularly the 7-5 of it, or the 5-2 of it.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure those hands would check back and then shove the river
Gotcha.
a bet. They play like that because they kind of want all the 2 pairs and stuff to catch up and make boats.
Yeah, that makes sense. So if there's a straight flush possibility, are we still going like 3x pot with the ace?
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the way to play it
Okay, sure.
with the ace of, and then those straight flushes we just check back,
Yeah,
and
that makes
then
sense.
end up shoving the river because those straight flushes really want your opponent to catch up. And all those strong hands are going to be betting into straight flush anyway. Right, the straight flush, while sure it can get value in this street and then shove the next street, it's more about getting a little bit of value by trapping a bit versus the nut flush. Just you get this spot where you've got the nuts versus air kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like the ace king queen game, which we started to.
And there's no real, like, when you get to the river, sorry, there's like no real blockers to use as like a bluff, right? Like you just bluff with whatever, like bottom of your range or something.
Yeah. This is one of those spots where there aren't any blockers, really. So that's why you need some like chunks
Just air.
when you overbet the turn, so you can use them as plus.
And then, and then this other hand that I'm looking at was you open the button. This was on. Well, I can just say the hand, but it was 7. I wonder, is there a way? It was on Al-Bali or whatever. So maybe you can pull it up. And it was toward the end, so it was after this one. The board was, the flop was 6-7-5 rainbow. Yeah, that's it right there. Okay, so yeah, so check. Yeah, so like this spot, this is another one. Like I don't feel like super comfortable with like sizing. Like,
What did you have?
I had ace 3 with no diamond.
Ah, okay. I thought you had a much bigger hand than that. Yeah,
It's just, it's like a weird spot because and maybe this is probably just bad thinking, but it just
probably more of a check call with the ace 3, but just because the 3 kind of. Actually, I guess you can bet without a diamond. The ones that want to check call probably more have a diamond.
With a diamond, yeah. And then I was thinking if I had like ace 7, maybe ace 6 or something, I could go for the check and then either check call or check raise, depending on how big you bet.
I don't really mind the size that you chose. Probably could have gone a little tad.
And then you think the hand's just indifferent once it bets and gets raised. You raise pretty big too, but I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't sure how much.
Probably towards the top of your value range for that bet size.
Okay. Yeah, that's when I'm pretty weak in like that line because it feels like potting the river with just like let's say I had like ace 8 or ace 9. I know those hands are like pretty nutted, especially heads up, and are probably worth about a pot size bet, but it just feels like you're going to have so many like better ace X that just check down and then, but I guess like you're going to lose a bet to those anyway. I don't know if that's like the right thinking or what, but yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, and then I'm just trying to see. There was the hand where you had like queen 2. I don't know if we just looked at that. I might just be like repeating myself. Let me see if I can find it. The board was like ace 7 or ace 6 3 or something. You opened. Oh, and then this one was kind of interesting too.
Which one? This one?
Yeah, that one. I thought this one was pretty standard, although I'm not sure about my turn call, but I think versus whatever you bet, like, kind of just have to call. Yeah, I mean, you're betting like less than 1/10 or 1/10-ish. And then I had queen 7. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I think your flop bet size is a bit too big.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I guess I guess I go rarely, but with this specific hand, Queen 7 without a spade,
No spade.
probably
Probably just half
gonna
pot.
go
Or,
a bit smaller, yeah.
yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Because like this, you got quite a good range advantage, so you're going to be betting quite frequently.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, I would.
there's,
I would
there's
try to
nothing
probably
against using the pot size bet size, but not really that particular hand.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would try to use two sizes there, but
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
when the
I'm
Queen of
sure.
Spades comes in, after you've potted it, there's it's pretty difficult to find a hand that just hasn't just made it in some way,
yeah,
right? Either the hand's got a pair or is a flush or is a straight.
straight.
Right?
Yeah,
There's not much else.
no,
And so like I'm gonna dock because I've got the range advantage now.
Sure.
And this is sort of like a middling hand. In
So for that-
range, and then I'm just
for
trying
that
to get
like
called
tiny
by those.
donk, I can't really fold a pair, right? When I'm pretty polar on the flop.
Yeah, you can because. Sorry, yeah, you can because you got to think
Just
about
because your range is stronger.
what's the worst hand in my range.
Yeah, I mean you're probably
It's
using
probably,
like
it's probably like a 10. So I've got
10
to
9,
use like
yeah, or something.
tens and jacks and stuff to bluff. So you can definitely fold those kinds of hands.
Sure.
But it's really getting you to fold all that hair.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like 3-5 of diamonds or something.
I mean, it's not really important for that to fold, but more like the one spade type hands.
Okay, makes
Um,
sense. Am I supposed to fold a
have to
one
fold.
spade hand? I guess if it was like a really weak spade.
Yeah, if it's a really weak spade, then definitely.
Yeah.
Just because all of my bluffs have a single spade.
And then there was another interesting, or what I thought was kind of interesting. I'm not sure about how I played this. Actually, two 3-bet pots that we played. One was on Albali, and it was I 3-bet and flop was ace 10 7 rainbow. I can give you the hand number too if I don't know what you had, so we can't. Ace. Okay. Is that that's on Albali? The hand number's like, I don't know if the hand number really helps. I don't even see it on yours. And then there was one on this table.
Yes, it's not letting me replay it. So
Oh, all right. Well, that's okay.
all right, very well. Okay, you can go through the recording afterwards, and then if you have any questions, you can just put in the chat. All right, so any last minute questions?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, great. Okay, so see you guys. Hope you
All right.
learned something.
Thanks, Thomas.
Have a bit of fun. See ya.
Bye.